Hey there, in this video, we're going to talk about data types in Python. So what is a data type? Think of it as a label that tells Python what kind of information you're working with. Python has several data types, and the most basic ones are strings, integers, and floats. Let's start with strings. A string is a bunch of letters, numbers, or symbols that are enclosed in quotes, either single quotes or double quotes. For example, hello world is a string. Hello 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is also a string. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in double quotes or even in single quotes are both strings. An integer is a whole number without a decimal point, like 7 or 15 or 1000. You can do math with integers like adding or subtracting or multiplying. Now let's consider floats. Float is a number with a decimal point, like 3.14 or 2.5 or 10.75. You can also do math with floats, but you have to be careful about rounding errors. One important thing to remember is that Python can't mix different data types. Mixing your data types will get your computer, well, all mixed up. For example, if you try to add a string and an integer together, Python will give you an error. But don't panic. Errors are a common part of programming, and you probably have to deal with them a lot. The trick is to think of errors as little clues from your computer to help you improve your programming skills. Read the errors carefully, understand what they're telling you, and then use that new knowledge to help you fix the mistake. Let's take another example. Let's say we want to add the string hello and the integer 7, and we want to add this together. We can't just write hello plus 7 because that doesn't make sense. If we insist, we get a type error telling us that adding string and integer does not make sense. It can only concatenate string not with integers but with strings, which means that that operation is unsupported. Instead, to work around it, we can turn the integer into a string first and then add the two strings together just like this. Hello plus str into bracket 7. The str function converts the integer 7 into a string. Similarly, if we want to add two numbers together and we intend to get an integer in the end, we can't mix integers and floats. If we insist, we get our answer as a float. Instead, we have to convert one of them to the same data type as the other. For example, we can write 3 plus int into bracket 4.5 close bracket to convert the float 4.5 to an integer before adding it to 3. One way to find out what data type a certain value is to use the type function. For example, print into bracket type into bracket the string a, then close brackets, we output str, which is short for string. The number 2 belongs to the int class, which is short for integer, and 2.5 belongs to the float class. So, that's a quick introduction to data types in Python. Remember to keep your strings with strings, your integers with integers, and your floats with floats. And you shouldn't get into much of a tangle. As we continue through the course, we'll come across more data types and learn how to interact with each of them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.